The iLLANOiZE app is available now on Apple and Google Play Store. Download the app, get the latest news, stream our podcasts, watch interviews, and listen to iLLANOiZE Radio live. Download the app right now. Welcome world, welcome world, welcome world. You're tuned in to iLLANOiZE Radio, Chicago's most valuable online radio show. And you know what we like to do at this time. We bring you guys the illest guests from around the city and globe. And today, we got Mobi Color.
Mobi.
Todayin, founder, Paris Williams in the building. How you doing?
Blessings, man. I appreciate y'all for having me, man. This is an opportunity that many but very selective few get, and I appreciate the moments, man. I think this is a good time in my journey to just express what's going on, and I appreciate y'all time.
Hey, let's talk about your journey too. I definitely greatly appreciate that. I met you at Wicker. No, not what is it called? Winterfest.
Winterfest. We was on the west side.
Yeah. And yeah, we was
on the west side. I don't go be on the west side that much. I know when I'm on the west side. When I'm with him, I'm on the west side.
I be everywhere.
He the tour guide to the west side. If y'all ever need a sidetrack,
he the ambassador
of the west side. He gonna take you everywhere. This is where the foes was up here. This is where
this whole city right here. You can't be.
Yeah, the vice lords. Be over here. Don't go in that store asking for a vice lord burger because they gonna get mad.
Foolish.
I don't know what he talking about, but I bet you there. And since then, and that wasn't too long ago, you've been on tour. You've been doing so much as well as far as like your journey. So let's actually jump into that. I know that around the time you were 6 years old, in sixth grade, you was an entrepreneur.
Yeah, man. So this whole journey started in sixth grade. So there were two books. I just literally came from an event where I was telling these kids about my story of how I became what I'm doing now. I'm not anything right now, but like when I became who I am now. And it started with two books, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
I read that one.
Yeah, that book changed my life.
And Nifty's Guide to Young Entrepreneurship. And I also take I take into consideration that it takes a village to raise a child type thing.
I agree.
So I've been blessed to have both my parents in my life. I've been blessed to have certain people and figures and things help me get to where I am today. You know what I'm saying? So I contribute a little bit of this to me, but everything that I've done is a culmination of all those people, all those things that have been pushed to help me. You know what I mean? So yeah, it started in sixth grade. From sixth grade through eighth grade, I was making like more than like $550 a month as a kid. Bro. So like it came from me doing.
Hold on, wait.
What
you know what I would have did with $550 in sixth grade?
He had all the Jordans.
Bank.
All the I would have had Jordans
Jordans,
every what the dress came out. I got them. New Pelly came out.
In
I
sixth
got
grade,
it.
I think CD players would still exist.
No, they were popular.
So I think I would have been buying hella.
I would have hit the
CDs,
best
no
one, the
lie.
one that don't
The
skip
one-
when you don't
okay.
walk.
The anti-skip.
Yeah, the anti-skip joint. With the dumb headphones, with the knobs on it, you can control everything.
So I learned when I was young a few things, man. Like I learned about generational wealth. I learned about. So my father's very frugal. He installed into me like keep your expenses low not by any means, but like pay what you need to pay to live, but keep your expenses low. And I used that to go more towards investments. So I legitimately knew about financial literacy, generational wealth, and being, because I like to call myself a history buff. You know, it's low key. I'm not like on the spectrum. I'm like low down here. I like to know a little about a lot. So when I was young, I used to be intrigued by like doing not research projects, but like watching videos or reading articles about how like the Vanderbilts made their money, or how like
Rockefeller.
I was thinking
all of them, but like also like how the Waltons, how Airbnb, that's how this Mobi Color thing started. Like how the Facebooks and Apples was started. You feel me? So like I like to know how these big companies that I'm looking at people consume now, how did they become who they were? And I was like, I need, there's nobody that looks like me in that move. You know what I mean? So I need to be able to make some type of patriarchal move to make me in that position. So I just been on this journey since 6th grade.
So you spoke on your father.
Yeah.
What do your father do for a living? I mean, he'd already instilled so much knowledge in you.
Man, my father is a radiologist by trade. So like he literally just, go to work. A radiologist tech. So like he go to work. I'm the first person in my family to have a 4-year degree. You know what I mean? Like, which is a blessing. And he legitimately is a worker and provider. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a frills type person. Like, you can show him the most biggest house or the most biggest, he'd be like, oh, that's cool. That's what's up. You know what I mean? Like, right. He's good with what he got, and he knows that's what he got, and he's provided for his family all this time, and he showed how to be a man who provides. And I appreciate that from him. Sometimes we don't give the biggest ups to our fathers, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I love to do whenever I'm talking about who made me. My mom, she gave me the ability to be empathetic to a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, where it comes to the point where I'm a person who sees both sides of the coin, you know what I mean?
That's
like she's
very,
very, very instrumental in me being able to talk to anyone. Like, she can literally talk to anybody and be perfectly, and it seems like she's giving you the most. It's funny because I've seen my mom do this. She'd be on the phone, she'd be talking to a friend she's had for years, and all you hear is yep, yep, and she might know what she's talking about, but like, she's literally just being an ear for her friend because her friend might be going through something or whatever, and she just there as an ear for a friend, and that allowed me to. And I have two older brothers, and a sister, an older sister, so I'm the youngest. And I've always been the observant one out of my family. So I've seen what happened. I've seen the paths that my older siblings went, and I said, okay, I'm not doing that. I might take a little bit from here. Like, my first exposure to art was with my brother. Like, my brother was the person who was the artist who could really sit down, draw you, and do all that stuff. So I've seen that. You know what I mean? That's what was in my household. And my mom showed me, like, every weekend we went to the thrift store. So that's why I'm able to thrift and be able to like.
Yo, they be having the best pieces in them joints. Yeah. Boy, I done got a Jabot jean jacket out.
Bro, that was early 2000s. Jabot's is like hitting.
Jabot with the straps.
Right. And what was it called? Lacoste? That was Jabot Lacoste. You had to get you a polo with the shorts on the summertime. You was
Plato's
Gucci.
Closet. I don't know if y'all know about that.
Yeah, of course. Not when I was a kid though. It was always Salvation Army.
Salvation Army of the thrift
You know what I'm
store.
saying?
Then Plato's Closet came.
That came out after
later.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, so did that what helped you with your fashion sense?
That helped me with aesthetics. Fashion has always been a thing where I like to dress how I want to dress. You know what I mean? And I just had a good eye for things. But through that point, and it's funny because when I went to thrift stores, my mom's literally used to, go ahead. Because she knew I wasn't like no bad kid. They're not going to get on the intercom. There's a child. You know what I mean? I wasn't that type of kid. You know what I mean? So she knew that I was going to go to. This is literally how it went, and this is how it relates to today. It went books, toys, clothing. Okay. That's the first, the 1, 2, and 3 things I went to when I went to the thrift store. I love books. I made a book. You know what I'm saying?
You got a book right here, my brother.
You know what I'm saying? I love books. I love collecting books. I got a crazy book collection on not just reading, but the aesthetic of the books. Yo, that's hard. Toys, I relate that now to design and product. You know what I'm saying? When I looked at that, oh snap, that's a dope toy. And then the clothing, that just became something where I was like, oh, let me get hip to these polos, all these Ralph Lauren joints that people are up. And we went to the ones that was, I'm from Inglewood, so we went to the ones that was in my neighborhood, but we also went to the ones that was a little bit further out in my neighborhood. Yeah. Not even in the burbs, but in the Latino, Gage Park, you know what I'm saying? Just in other neighborhoods. You feel me?
Yeah, so you said as a kid, you spoke on toys, and I wanted to know, as a kid, what was your thing?
As a toy?
No, entertainment. What was your entertainment?
Bro, so from 8th grade all the way up, I used to make beats. So that was a thing where that was my entertainment for a while. Entertainment. I was a kid that always liked to tinker with stuff. So do y'all remember Tiger Electronics? You remember those handheld games? You put the batteries in, and it was like
the basketball joint,
basketball, or Mortal Kombat, or whatever the thing is. Yeah, so I used to like those. I used to play with those, and when they messed up, I used to take the back off of them and see the wire and see how it worked. And oh, that wire is messed up. Let me tape it because I ain't had no solder. You know how you supposed to like solder? I used to tape that joint together and be like, okay, it's working now. You know what I mean? So like that was my type of like, and like because I've had older siblings and I have a lot of cousins who I grew up with. I was a extrovert introvert. You know what I mean?
It's
So
an
I could
ambivert.
I could be by myself and be perfect. Like to this day, I could be by myself and be perfectly fine. But I could be in social situations and be the curator of the conversation. I'm not always talking as much, but I'm able to say, oh, yo, you know this person or you need to know this person. Like, I love to connect people. You know what I mean?
Make sure to check out the iLLANOiZE playlist in which we provide you with the latest tracks we play live on our show. Head over to Spotify and search iLLANOiZE Radio to follow our playlist as well as follow our podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Pretty Right, and you just tuned back into the best, the illest, the dopest radio show in the city of Chicago, iLLANOiZE Radio. And we are sitting down with Paris of Mobi Color, having a very creative conversation.
Yes.
Right
I'm going to save that. We're going to make you our official sound effect. You our official blowhorn now, my brother.
That was perfect.
I appreciate y'all.
That was perfect, man. Super perfect. I met you, it was about a year or two ago. We was
so.
At LinkedIn. With
Was
Xander.
was it?
When we
Yeah.
met with
No,
Xander.
that's a fact,
it was
bro.
me,
Yep.
you,
Xander.
and Webby.
Did Webby coming through that day?
Yeah, Webby.
We was eating lunch, though.
Yeah, we was eating lunch. Webby was, that's how we all met that
True.
day.
True.
Xander's brought us through. He was like, yo, I make coloring books. I do photography work. Woo, woo, woo. And then fast forward, I saw you at the Red Summer joint.
Oh, yeah, bro. That's
And we bumped into each other a few times after that. And then you was like, yo, you got to check out this coloring book. And that's when I got the Barack Obama edition.
Oh, man. I got a video piece of this man in the hood talking about, bro, we talking about coloring books. Like, we ain't talking about basketball. We ain't talking about, we in the hood talking about coloring books.
Like,
that had me feeling, I felt so
because,
grateful.
like, y'all don't understand. When I say my man's got a coloring book, bro, my man's have a coloring
I love
book,
how the
yeah.
back says color the culture.
Because look, because
I love
you got to
that.
peep who's in this joint. You got Cole right there, coloring book. Who you got? Bam. That look like
Exclusive,
what? 50?
exclusive.
No, that's Meek right there. That's Meek and Beyonce.
Who else on that
How
thing?
many shorties can you look? Who that is? That's Solange.
See, look, he know he
Look,
already tapped
Look,
in.
Chance. Come on now.
This is a
We got
reflection.
Chance.
So the coloring book is a reflection of culture from 2019 up
Kanye.
until like early
And the quote from
January.
Kanye. He got the
Okay.
quote, the Twitter quote. So what I'm saying is, black man got a coloring book.
Yeah.
How often can we open up a coloring book and see our people?
Very. I was about
You
to
feel
say
me?
never, but
As
that's
a
not.
kid-
That takes it from never to now.
But as a kid, to color these people that you might never get the chance to be taught about in school. You know what I mean? Picture if you have a book with, Marcus Garvey, Harold Washington in it, and you learn these people as a kid. Like, that's something dope, bro. That's educational and fun at the same time. Look, this will have me at the table on Saturday morning with my shorties. And the whole family's eating a bowl of cereal
And
just
then
coloring.
You see, when you first walked in, what's the first thing I said? Can I buy this?
Yeah, bro. I appreciate that.
So I want to honestly know what led you into putting together coloring books, my
to
brother.
stop to continue the journey for which we ended off on 8th grade. So from
To be continued.
you know what I'm
New
saying? I gotta
episode.
tell you the whole story since I'm actually giving out the full-fledged story.
Okay.
I give it out bits and pieces, but I want to give you guys the full story of how like I literally been on this path. So from 8th grade, from high school to end of my junior year, I got accepted to Georgetown University. Went out to Georgetown.
Hold on.
Georgetown,
Hold on.
wow.
Just
can't
skip
just
over.
casually say
Hey,
you
actually, I
went
went
to
to
Georgetown.
Georgetown. I did that.
Yeah, man. Like names is one thing, but like it's all about what you make. You can go to Chicago State, my G, and still be that guy. You feel me? Like it don't matter where you go. But I went out to DC. It was a life-changing event where I met a group of my homies who I literally have created like venture funds with and like been able to make moves with. And these are my brothers. Like they're not by blood, but like these are my true and genuine brothers. And they encouraged me to do a lot of things. So for one, my first business was these things right here. It's called the company was called Expressions, and it was a brand where I made either chains or I made like large things. So say you got like the iLLANOiZE logo, right? I can create those out of the perler beads and make it and give it to you as a chain. I'm actually bringing those back. Yeah, I'm bringing them back. I'm bringing them back through the Mobi Color. I'm bringing them back through the Mobi Color platform. So
Mobi Color is like a full brand.
Yeah, bro. So Mobi Color,
it's not just a coloring book.
No, bro. So it's a creative company that does products, events, and brand and corporate workshops. So I've done this product. I've collaborated with leaders. I've done some stuff with my homie Heavy. I've done some stuff with some people out of town in Toronto. We collaborated on some things. And then the event is called Color Sessions. I invite you all out to the next color session that I'm having. I'm still building out the year. I want to have things like solidified. I just don't want to do one at a time because I've learned, like, when I first did this in 2017, I literally did it month by month, but I had them every month. And I've done them in art museums, at like Niche Gallery with P. Scott and Kendall, my homie Kendall. I've done them in Dos Toros downtown on Dearborn and Wacker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I've done them in different aspects of places. And it's an amazing event. Everybody comes in from all different types of backgrounds and industries and love. And you come in and you color the theme. So sometimes it might be, one idea was like the Fresh Prince. So it was nothing but the Fresh Prince. One I did the Kanye and good music. The other one, my anniversary one, is always just a reflection of culture. And I've literally had people next to each other who was like the head costume designer of Empire next to like freaking like music management artists. I mean, what is it called? Artist management. You know what I'm saying? And they was literally next to each other coloring. I knew this one dude. I was like, oh, that's dope. And he looked over and was like, oh, that is dope. And they created a whole little connection right off there. So you never know who comes to these type of things.
So I'm curious, do you feel like coloring is therapy?
So it's actually been I'm not going to put it out there because I'm not no scientist, but like it's been proven that there's this thing in the back of your head called an amygdala. And the amygdala regulates your emotional state. So it's like every day is working. You know what I'm saying? It's pumping. It's moving. And when you color, it allows both sides of your brain, the non-organized, creative, boom thought, and it also organizes the side that's like, okay, get this done, get this done, get this done. All right, structural side, and it works at the same time. So when it happens, it allows that muscle to stop from this to do this, to relax, and that's why you feel like you're doing, like, when you coloring, you feel like you're in the zone. Also, you know, at color sessions, we have libations and stuff like that too. So like, when you coloring, you might be talking to somebody, you feel me? You might be coloring. You paying attention to what you color. It's like 3 different type of people that come. So you got like the people who, I had to think about it. Like, you have people who, like, when they come, they talk, but then they stop and they just be.
That'd probably be me. Like,
they just be coloring because they don't want to mess up the color. Like, they don't want to draw color outside. Y'all saw that interview with Tiffany Haddish had, where she was like, I judge my boyfriends off of how they color. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And some people be like, yeah, I'm not trying to color out these lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you cut out the lines, you whack.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like, people be really like,
let me focus.
You know what I'm saying? And some people,
thanks for telling me about Tiffany, so I know I gotta stay on my lines. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go find her, just pop out a coloring book and be like, look.
Hey, pop her this one and be like, yo, this is something new.
And look at my
line work. You feel?
Look, ladies, watch out now.
You feel me?
My line game is crazy.
You foolish. So yeah, so like you got that person. You also got the person who's socially, like, they're the color, but they're also there to talk, and you know they yeah, man, so woo and da 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 and hold up. Yeah, so you know, and you have those people, and then you have the people who just genuinely are there to kind of like feel the whole vibe, because it's not like we playing like loud blaring music. It's more like it's a vibe, bro. Like you gotta witness it. Like, and I'll also send you guys like a recap video of what I've done before.
When does it take place?
So it used to take place month to month. I'm doing more bi-monthly ones, and I'm like through the brand, and then I do private ones. So if you got a bar mitzvah, if you got a wedding, if you got a birthday, if you got a girls' night out, or a stay in.
Looked at you directly, like, hit me up.
I was about to say, no more painting sil. We painting the color.
Yeah,
coloring
so like,
no painting.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's called
sipping color.
Color
Exactly.
session. Yeah. So the funny thing is, it was called colors. It was called Sip and Color. Color, yeah, sipping color. But I used to get the what's it called? Oh yeah, that's just like a paint sip, right? I was like, nah,
it's not. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's our older auntie. You feel me? Like,
yeah,
and
paint
I don't.
sip. That's that crowd though.
You know what I mean? And it's cool, like if that's what you want, like because for one, I can't personally sit there and draw you. I'm like a digital person where I can see, oh, that's a good reference. Let me put that with this, with this, with that, and then I can illustrate that now. You know what I mean? I'm not a person who can sit there and draw you. I'm working on that, but I can't draw you right now. And I was like, I don't want, and everybody's not a drawer.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Everybody can't sit there, and that's why if you ever look at any paint and sips,
everybody's stuff look different.
That, and also they're not gonna hang that on their wall.
I hung my paint and sips.
You must be a good drawer.
I didn't realize I was decent until I finished that thing. I was like, people, wow, this is pretty good.
Some people cannot draw worth nothing, and it looks
that's
like
me. But I can color though.
So like that's what I said, and it's been a blessing to see. Like I have people come up to me and be like, "Bro, I have people either tag us or put pictures, like send me pictures of them having it on their wall." I literally walked into homies' cribs and it's on their wall like artwork. It's not like it's sitting in their bathroom corner under their dirty laundry. You feel me? And I love that, yo. Like that's what it was intended for. I wanted to be able to have people sit and reflect and be like, "Yo, I did that." Okay. So that's why,
I saw a picture of you at Facebook.
Yeah.
How did things go at Facebook, and did it pertain to Mobi Color?
So I did a pop-up shop there, and also did a private for the staff color session, a happy hour color session. So for corporate people, you know what I mean?
Lit. They was in there lit.
Yeah. So we do private color sessions for the brands as well. So say you got a happy hour, we can come in based off of whatever the image is or whatever the theme is. We can create a whole package for you to allow you to basically do a happy hour color session. And you come in, you color, you chop it up with your counterparts that you probably never chopped it up with, or the ones that you always chop it up with, and you just want to have something else to do other than just sit there and drink and talk. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was a good vibe, man. And I appreciate that. Shout out to my homie Alex, Sydney, all my people at Facebook that really allowed me to tap into that whole crowd and allow me to branch out into something that was on my list to do. Okay.
You also own Todayin.
Yeah, man.
Can you break down what Todayin?
Bro,
but before you get into it, like I remember when you put me on it, which was at Winter Fest. I want to say I can't get it. I don't want to mess it up, but you put me on that Winter Fest, and I remember you. It's like a magazine almost. I mean, that's to what I see.
Like a tourist magazine.
Yeah, like it's okay. Like a guide.
I love hearing other people's like thoughts of it. You know what I mean? So like, what it is a exposure brand. It's a city exposure brand that allows people, travelers and residents alike, to navigate and tap into the culture, the pulse of what makes that city move.
That's so niche. How did you even think to do that? That's such a niche business or such a niche brand.
So what allowed me to think about doing this was my first, being from the South Side, being a person who's traveled the country, traveled the world. My first time not the world, not yet, but my first time actually tapping into the North Side, the near West Side, the sides outside of the South and West sides is, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been to those places. Was 2014 when I graduated. So like, legitimately haven't touched soil. Like I've been to Northwestern on some like school stuff, but I never actually said, "Hey, let me walk around Wrigleyville. Let me see what's going on up here." Until 2014. You know what I'm saying? Like
2014.
Wow. Yeah, bro.
After you graduated out of high school,
out of college.
Damn.
I was like, wow, I'm up north, yo. Let me actually see what's going on here. So we legitimately became.
Time out, because people don't understand.
Yeah, that's
I don't think people understand.
Like
it's a lot of people in the
I
city
like that
never leave their block,
never leave the hood, never leave the block.
Yeah.
So keep going.
Yeah, bro. So like, and I've always been a person who was adventurous and one thing that my mom did bless me with was the ability to walk. So I walk everywhere. I love to see things. I love to be observant of like how neighborhoods change, how architecture change, how like the people, the economics of that neighborhood change. Like I literally walk. So I'm from right off of the boulevard in Inglewood. So like you can legitimately see. If you take Ashland all the way up, you can go all the way up to Irving Park, and you can see from that all the way down to Inglewood. You see how the different, the economics, the people, the vibrancy all changes. So, and from there, I was like, what other neighborhoods are here? And then I looked it up. I'm like, yo, it's 77 neighborhoods in the city. I said, bro, that's a lot of neighborhoods.
Wow. Never knew that.
People don't know what is going on in these neighborhoods. So then I started to curate, and I was like, okay, I was going to call Todayin other than downtown. Because, as you know, when people, for example, have y'all saw that dude talk about if you come into Chicago,
places you shouldn't go.
He was like, yo, stay your butt downtown, because if you go anywhere else, you liable to XYZ. So I thought about it. I'm like, I could name it other than downtown, but then I started to think, my business mind, my entrepreneurial mind came in and like, everybody's downtown is not like Chicago.
Facts.
You got LA who's like
St. Louis downtown sucks.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I wanted to say something where I wanted to be something that was relevant for that day. I'm like, Todayin might be something, and then it could be today in Chicago, today in New York. We have Chicago, The three main acting ones are Chicago, Detroit, and Milwaukee. But we have them from coast to coast, from LA to New York, Toronto to Atlanta, and we also have one in Tokyo. So like, appreciate you. To answer your original question, it's a city exposure brand that allows people to tap into the pulse of the city. Meaning, if you coming from out of town and you want to know what the who, what, when, where, and why of that city, you follow Today in Chicago a week before. You know basically what's moving, what's shaking in that city, places to eat, the places to shop. People, artists that's actually in there that you can literally DM, photographers, models, creatives all around, you know what I mean? And if you actually from the city, you might be like, oh, I never seen this mural. Let me actually go up there. It's tagged. Oh, who made that? Oh, my homie Solomon, my homie Max made this. Oh, that's dope. Oh, snap. I didn't know this person did that. Oh, that's a good place to eat. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we create the plug. So, like, whenever you go to a city, you never feel like you're not the plug. Because you could do the touristy stuff. That's easy. Go to Google. And then this is the best thing that I love about it. It's like, I looked around. I saw the other like, curating-ish places. And, like, you got, like, the Time Out. You got the, you know, all those other, like, big profiles and brands. But all they center around is, like, up north and downtown. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's dope.
But you got something in the heart of the hood.
I got things everywhere. You feel me? Like, I got joints where you can literally be like, you can go as further as Harvey to all the way up north to freaking Evanston. You feel me? Like, it's a wide range, and also it's the things that's actually making the city move. It's not just, and on top of that, it's regular everyday people too. It's not just the top of the cream of the crop, because I can curate something and see a person who's just starting. Like, I've literally had people who just started their career and now they're like budding and making moves, and I look at them like, dang, I seen your journey from here to here. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? And they'll reach out and be like, bro, I love that I have people literally reach out and be like, yo, I love this page. I love what you're doing. This is something that really taps us into the city.
How can people find a page?
So,
and how can people find Mobi Color as well? So
if you are on Instagram, right now we are an Instagram featured curatorial platform, but we have a website called todayin.city. That's I'm building out. It's a work in progress. But if you're on Instagram, it's Todayin, all one word, but it's one N, so Todayin. And for the Mobi coloring thing, it's MOBI coloring. For the website, it's mobicolor.club. Yeah, man, I'm just proud of everything, bro.
When can we expect for these to release?
So end of the month, February. So my birthday's in March, so I'm leaning towards more of my birthday like month. So in March to actually officially launch them. I've done a soft launch. I've done like something where I just want to test and see how, because I've been getting people, you know, people will tell you, oh, bro, that stuff's cold, but then like they don't do anything or they don't purchase nothing. Mm-hmm. But with this one, I had people like, bro, that's cold. Where can Where can I buy one? You know what I'm saying? So
First thing I did when you walked in the door.
right. So like I'm like, okay, let me actually put some science and things together to make this to work. You know?
I'm when like I said, I was super enthusiastic when I saw this. I'm like, yeah, I got to cop this. I know my son will love it. I mean, I love it. It's something that as a an adult you can hold on to it because it got memories in here, like public figures, and it's black.
It's a reflection of culture.
It's our culture, yo. Like so.
Yeah. Like we have. So this is my most conceptualized book today. We got quotes from people that I've reflected upon or looked up to in senses. We have the title, the what's the word I'm looking for? Not titles, but sections of fashion, art, design, music, sneakers, moments of culture, and we have over 6 activities in that joint. So all made by me. Like I literally had to make a crossword puzzle. Like, what do I want to put in here? You know what I mean? Like, what's the
That's
crossword?
something I would like to do, as odd as that sounds.
You know what I'm saying? And it's very interesting once you make your own crossword, because it's like you remember what the spots are, and then when you show somebody else and be like, let's see if they can see it right off or not. You know what I mean? Like that's always been an interesting thing. When I put my product or I put anything in a person's hands, I love to see what their interpretation of it is.